Captain Richard Morgan had years of experience in the skies, but nothing had prepared him for the storm he was about to face, both inside and outside the plane. He was piloting a night flight from Rio de Janeiro to Lisbon, and at first, everything seemed calm. Shortly after takeoff, his attention was captured by a passenger in first class. Isabella Carter was the kind of woman who turned heads. Brunette, elegant, with a seductive gaze that seemed to see into anyone's soul. She wore a tight red silk dress that accentuated every curve of her body. Richard tried to keep his focus on the flight instruments, but his mind kept drifting toward the enigmatic woman in seat 2A. Shortly after reaching cruising altitude, a flight attendant entered the cockpit carrying a note. Richard opened the paper and read the provocative words, "Captain, are turbulences always bad? 2A." He felt heat rise through his body. What did she mean by that? Was it just a joke or a real invitation? Curious and intrigued, he decided to check personally. After temporarily leaving the command in the hands of his co-pilot, he walked to first class. Isabella lifted her eyes to him and gave a sly smile. "Oh, Captain, I thought you were busy flying the plane." "I'm responsible for the passengers' well-being," he replied, raising an eyebrow. "And I received an unusual call." She played with her champagne glass before saying, "Maybe I just wanted to get to know the man in control of my fate tonight." They exchanged intense glances. Richard realized this wasn't just casual flirting. Isabella was playing a dangerous and exciting game. He was more than willing to play along. "If you'd like to get to know me better, we could talk in the plane's VIP lounge," he suggested, keeping his tone professional but making it clear he accepted the challenge. Minutes later, they met in the small lounge reserved for exclusive passengers. The electric tension between them was palpable. He approached and inhaled her sweet, intoxicating scent. "So, Isabella, do you always tease pilots like this?" She tilted her head and smiled. "Only the ones who know how to handle unexpected turbulence." He couldn't resist. He pulled her closer, feeling her warm lips meet his. The kiss was intense, urgent, filled with suppressed desire. His hands explored her back as she pressed against him, as if the world outside didn't exist. But reality didn't take long to call them back. The captain's radio crackled, and the co-pilot's voice emerged. "Captain, we have a strong turbulence zone ahead. We need you here." Richard slowly pulled away, taking a deep breath. "Duty calls. But this story isn't over yet." Isabella smiled, running her fingers over her lips, still red from the kiss. "We still have many miles to go." He returned to the cockpit, his body still burning from the encounter. The plane shook slightly as they entered the turbulence zone. It was nothing compared to the storm Isabella had stirred within him. As he adjusted the controls, he couldn't help but think about what would happen when they landed in Lisbon. Because some turbulences were, without a doubt, very welcome,